Hello, welcome to the Sound of Science, the place where we deconstruct unscientific bogus and silly scams. Let's go get them. Hello, my fellow critical thinkers. As usual, we're going to watch another confused Christian today. And this one, really, why do people like this keep popping up on YouTube? Why do they keep thinking that they somehow make an interesting point while everyone can see how silly and delusional they are? One would think that at some point the Christian God, if he were to exist, would stop them and say, look, you are not the kind of marketing material that I need to convey my message. But okay, let's give this guy a chance. The title of his video is Logic Argument for God's Existence. Take it away, bro.
I don't believe God exists. You know, this is giveaway. I'm sorry. I don't believe God exists. That was another one.
Okay, we already need to stop after 5 seconds. This is not me taking his video out of context. This is the actual beginning of his video. No context is given, no introduction is given of what he's going to explain, nothing. And then he begins with stating that he doesn't believe that a God exists, which is the exact opposite of what he's supposed to say, according to the title of his video. So what he unintentionally is doing here is giving us a master class in how not to explain something. Other point of interest is, again, a budget Christian apologist sitting in his car. What's up with these Christian apologists? Are they all homeless? Why would their God punish them like that? Why would you worship a God who punishes you like that? Why would a God who punishes you like that exist in the first place anyway? Let's see what else is going to happen.
Prove to me that God exists. Show me evidence of God's existence.
Yes, that's the main question and basically the only relevant question regarding Christianity. And that question for evidence that proves the existence of your God will remain the only relevant question about Christianity as long as no Christian presents evidence that proves that their God actually exists. All other talk about the Christian God is useless, just like any conversation about the powers of Dracula, the morals of Dracula, or the son of Dracula is totally irrelevant. As long as nobody proves that Dracula exists in the first place. Oh wait, Dracula did actually exist. His character is based upon Vlad Dracula, the Romanian warlord. There is more evidence for the existence of Dracula than for the existence of Jesus. But okay, let's see what else this guy wants to tell us.
Don't be like, be like, sure, I'll definitely do that.
No. Well, that's very bad advice. If you're a Christian and people ask you to prove the existence of your God, your best answer indeed would be, or even better, I don't have evidence that proves that my God exists, because that is the truth. Attempting to follow up that question with all kinds of failed and ridiculous arguments will make you and your religion look totally foolish, just like what's happening to this guy in the video. I mean, it's your choice, of course, but wouldn't it be much better to just tell people the truth, which is there is no evidence that proves the existence of your God, yet you choose to believe in your God anyway, most likely because you've been brainwashed from the day you were a child. Look, that's not your mistake. That is what your parents, your teachers, and your preachers did to you. But you can escape from that brainwash, starting by simply realizing that there is no evidence that proves the existence of your God. You don't have to listen to me, just listen to how this guy in the video will totally screw up his plea for the existence of his God.
God's going to throw them off. Totally do it. Who cares? Because you do have proof, and I'm about to give it to you. All right?
Oh boy, this is another example of a Christian apologist being confidently wrong. He really thinks he's going to present you some solid evidence that proves the existence of his God. And of course, we all know that everything he's going to say from here on proves absolutely nothing. Well, it might prove that ridiculous and silly arguments exist, but we already knew that.
The it's called the preconditions of intelligibility. You use it, they use it all the time, every day of their life. Every time they walk out their door or get up in the morning, when they breathe, they're using these. Okay, I'm about to explain it.
No, dude, nobody is using anything of what you're going to say right now. It's all utter nonsense.
The first precondition is absolute morality. Okay, absolute morality exists. We know absolute morality exists.
Oh boy, there we go again. Absolute morality. No, it doesn't exist. It's a fantasy. It's a delusion promoted by Christian apologists like yourself for centuries now. Somehow you Christian apologists think that if there were to exist something such as absolute morality, then that would be evidence for the existence of your God, which doesn't follow in any way. But of course the problem is absolute morality does not even exist. Morality is a subjective matter, just like beauty and fairness. The only way for us to determine if something can be regarded as moral, beautiful or fair is by assessing opinions about that. And that is the main property of subjective matters. They can only be assessed by using opinions. There is no way to assess morals, beauty and fairness without falling back on opinions. There is no device, no machine, no model, camera, sensor or equipment that can measure morality, beauty or fairness independent of opinions because it's subjective and not objective. Some people think it's immoral to not pray to Vishnu every day. Some people think that that is not immoral. Luckily, 99% of people agree that, for example, cases of extreme violence are immoral and we should refrain from doing stuff like that. And because 99% of people agree on this, we actually got a whole bunch of well-organized and well-functioning countries in this world. So, a vast majority of people agreeing on moral issues is the closest we can get to dealing with morality on a societal level. But absolute or objective morality does not exist. However, Christian apologists don't want to understand this. They want to hold on to the delusion that absolute morality exists. And then, of course, they wish to insert their God in their delusion, because then they assume that the morality of their supposed God is absolute morality, which is, again, total nonsense. Even if the Christian God were to exist, and nobody has ever proven that he does. But even if this Christian God were to exist, then his morality is just his morality and nothing more than that. It's just his personal opinion about morality. The morality of the Christian God is just one personal opinion of one being whose ideas go totally unchecked, and he's totally not interested in being accountable to anyone. So the morality of the Christian God is the most subjective morality there is. That is just the morality of a dictator, and it doesn't get more subjective than that. Human morality, on the other hand, at least gets tested and assessed so that we at least can come to some kind of shared morality within our society, which of course is a much better and livable and functioning solution than adopting the personal moral opinion of one cosmic dictator.
If you give somebody a really hardcore, crazy scenario like torturing babies for fun, when is it okay to torture babies for fun? Never, unless you're a psycho, right? And we can both agree that you have to be a psycho to say it's okay to torture babies for fun under any circumstance, you know?
Oh, dude. How can you choose such an unfortunate example? You just admitted that your own God is a psycho. Your own Christian God, if he were to exist, tortures babies and children all the fricking time, starting off with the very first chapter of the Bible, in which your Christian God slowly and deliberately drowns almost the entire world population, including babies and children, in a planned and systematic manner. He drowned them with a flood that lasted for 40 days. Drowning babies and children over a time span of 40 days is absolute torture. Your God is a psycho, and there was no need for your God to do that at all. He's all-powerful, remember. He could have chosen any solution he wanted without drowning people. There are a million solutions for him to solve his problems without making people suffer. He can do and create and cause any situation or event he wants. There was no need for your God to get into this mess anyway, because he's all-knowing, and he could have known in advance that his own choices would end up like this, so there was no need to drown these babies and children whatsoever. Yet your God chose to do this. If you voluntarily choose to do something that is not needed in any way, then it looks like you're doing it for fun. It's even worse. Your Christian God, if he were to exist, chose to create hell. He chose to create a place with the sole purpose of torturing those who do not obey him. Some of your fellow Christians say that even some babies and children go to hell. What a disgusting idea. Well, again, your God is all-powerful and could have easily created a universe where hell is not needed. And it doesn't even stop there. Your Christian God, if he were to exist, is the creator of everything, isn't he? So he created diseases like child cancer. He created a world with earthquakes, tsunamis and hurricanes, all of which cause unimaginable suffering to babies and children. And all of that was the personal choice of your God. He could have easily chosen to create a universe in which all of that was not even needed in the first place. So if it's not needed, but your God chooses to do it anyway, then it kinda looks like your God, if he were to exist, is torturing for fun, which makes him a psycho, as you said yourself. Come on, dude, don't you see how unfortunate your example is? Don't you see how your story about morality is total nonsense that at best demonstrates what an evil character your God is? If you start your entire plea for your God with this absolute morality nonsense, then there is no need to listen to anything else you got to say. So I'm not going to do that. And I recommend all of you to stop listening to idiots who bring up this absolute morality rubbish to explain their God into existence. I also recommend you to subscribe to my channel, and I give you real free will to do that. Because if you don't subscribe, I'm not going to torture you like the Christian God does. The only risk you run is that I will ask you again at the end of the next video. So thank you for watching, and have a nice day.